Anyways, now it's time we deal with the one-player game as Link from The Legend of Zelda. But by the way, if you press different directions on the C if you press the different directions with the C buttons, you can actually change the color of your character. Well, yeah, they have different alternate colors, which is mainly meant for the multiplayer mode in case multiple people, like I said, if multiple people want to play as the same character. And each character has at least 4 different colors. So yeah, pretty cool. Link's are green, his default one. There's also red, blue, and lavender. Now, some of these characters actually have alternate colors that are based off of different stuff from games. Like one of Mario's alternate colors is the colors of his rival, Wario. Ain't that perfect? There's also another one that Mario has based off of Foreman Spike from the game Wrecking Crew, which Mario is supposedly in. And there's also one where his colors are just reversed. Anyways, let's do the one-player game as Link. Now actually, why don't we go ahead and set the stock to 3, to give ourselves a little bit more of a challenge. And so yeah, here we have Link with the red costume. Now, Link is a pretty interesting character, considering he comes from an action RPG. So, in the Legend of Zelda games, Link is able to use all sorts of weapons. Of course, he has his Master Sword, which is able to get some range. Of course, he also has his Hylian Shield. He is actually able to shield certain attacks when crouching. So that's pretty cool. Now, his neutral special is he's able to wield a boomerang. So yeah, of course because it's a boomerang, it not only throws it forward, but it also comes back to him. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that was his down air attack. He's able to drop down with his sword downwards. Honestly, a pretty useful attack in my opinion. Now, Link's down special is that he's able to pull out a bomb and then throw it. You can even throw it down to the ground only for it to, eventually explode. Or you can just throw it directly at an opponent where it'll explode immediately. And his up air attack is pretty similar to his down air attack. Rather, he just aims his sword upward, like this. Uh-oh. Link's up special has him doing a spin attack with his sword. A lot of spin attacks. Weird. Because, it seems like every character so far has some sort of spin attack. This one just has Link spinning around with his sword. Now, Link's appearance in this game is obviously based after the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which of course was his was the character's Nintendo 64 debut, along with the most recent Zelda game at the time of this game's release. Even not only in his appearance, but even down to his voice clips, which is of course a bunch of grunts, as Link is known for, but it's the exact same grunts that he has in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So pretty interesting. Especially since a lot of other characters, like, for example, Fox, has unique voice clips for this game. Anyways, Link's Break the Target stage pretty much has him having to use each of the different stuff in his arsenal, along with a bunch of sword swings like that. There we go. Yeah, have a lot of having to use his up special here. There we go. Alright, this last target's a little tricky. What you actually have to do is that you have to aim your boomerang at just the right angle. It took me quite a while to figure this one out. Almost had it there. So yeah, you're actually supposed to... You're supposed to do that, pretty much. Throw the boomerang, and then as it comes back, that's when you jump over it. Almost had it. Thankfully, we're not given a time limit here, so yeah, I have plenty of time to spare. Thank goodness I'm not going up or down, because if it were going down, I would have to limit my... There we go! I got it! And if it were going up in time, that means that if it were to save the time, it would be pretty embarrassing to have a pretty high time compared to the other break the target stages. Anyways, we have to fight the Mario Brothers again, including Mario and Luigi, who is not playable to us yet. Dang it, I spoiled it, didn't I? Well, the game kind of spoiled it for us anyway, that Luigi is in the game. And is even in the how to play tutorial. So, like, yeah, he's kind of all over this game, not even being playable. So that's pretty interesting. There goes Luigi. And there goes Mario. There we go. Good friend. We didn't let our ally be KO'd. I don't really know what else to actually talk about with Link. By the way, there's Chansey, who gives out eggs, which pretty much act as capsules, as they can also be thrown and give you items. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the crowd will gasp pretty often when some suspenseful stuff like that happens. Like when you just barely grab onto a ledge, or when you're sent a long distance. We always seem to get Donkey Kong alongside us. It's weird. When fighting giant Donkey Kong. Jeez, Donkey Kong must have some bad self-esteem issues. If he always is fighting himself. I don't even know what was explosive there. No! Dang it. Well, we only have 2 lives. We better make it worth it. And normal size DK's down. So you may notice at the bottom of this stage, there is a barrel, which was pretty much a cannon, to where if you get into it, you'll be launched back onto the stage. Or in rare cases, you'll be sent down into what is called in this game the blast zone. The blast zone is pretty much the zone that you reach in order to get KO'd. Anyways, here's Link's board the platform stage, which actually has different ground terrain compared to Mario and Donkey Kong's, which makes sense, having a more brick-like terrain, which is seen pretty often in the Legend of Zelda games. And by the way, when you pause the game, you're able to get a zoom out of the entire stage to pretty much let you know where the other platforms are. Alright. Oh, better head back up. Come on. There we go. Alright, gotta go left for the last two. I guess this is like the dungeons in The Legend of Zelda because it's quite a puzzle to solve here. Of navigating this whole place. Dang it! Should have known. Oh, by the way, getting KO'd in the bonus stages does not give you a penalty. Like, you don't lose a life or anything, so it doesn't really do anything to you. I think I was trying to explain before about the shields. So yeah, you're able to only shield for a limited amount of time, because if you hold it for too long, or if opponents damage your shield enough times, and it grows small enough to where it'll shrink all the way, it'll pretty much, your shield will pretty much break, and you'll be stunned for quite a while. Anyways, we got Meowth. He just spreads out a bunch of gold coins, I think they are. Oh, by the way, the final Kirby here, rather than being a normal Kirby, sometimes the final Kirby you face will actually be Kirby with the copy ability of an unlockable character, which in this case is Captain Falcon. Come on. Pretty cool that, like I said, Kirby is able to emulate the neutral specials of any opponent, and really had unique voice lines for each of them, like him saying Falcon Punch. I haven't even introduced what the Falcon Punch is. My bad. I'll talk about it later. First, we gotta fight Samus. So I don't really... Oh, by the way, Link has a pretty long-range grab, as he's able to use his grappling hook called the Hook Shot, which is, of course, seen in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I think it's even the game it debuted in, considering, you know, it's the first time that you really need something like it, considering it was the first of the 3D Legend of Zelda games. Although I could be wrong about that. I don't know if it was in A Link to the Past, which was the Legend of Zelda game on the Super Nintendo. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Samus's Fire Flower saved me there. And once again, the acid took care of Samus. I'm noticing a trend here. Acid clear. Are we gonna get that every time? I don't know. Anyways, let's fight Metal Mario. We got it easy last time with DK. I'm not sure how we're gonna deal with them easily as Link. Maybe the bombs? Because those do quite a bit of damage. Well, we're doing pretty good so far. Come on. Get over here, Mario. Stay away from the Star Rod, it's mine. So how the Star Rod works is that whenever you swing it, which is pretty much the equivalent of doing a forward smash attack, it'll have a little star projectile. I believe you can only use it a certain amount of times. Before it wears out. There we go. Oh, by the way, what I did right there... Well, cheap shot. Okay, thanks. I got the fighter stance bonus, which is pretty much a taunt in this game, which is done by pressing the L button. Now, each character has their own unique taunt, and is pretty much a little pose they do. Like that. It's kind of pointless, because it's not really like an attack or anything. Again, it's just a taunt. Pretty much to taunt opponents, or just to have a cool stance for your fighter. Especially for when you defeat one. You know. And there we go. Now we only have the Fighting Polygon team to deal with, and Master Hand.
Three, two, one, go!
I guess I could start talking about personal stuff and my Smash Brothers story with the series. Now, to probably many people's surprise, this game was actually my first Super Smash Brothers game. Well, okay, it's kind of complicated whether to say between this and Super Smash Brothers Melee, between which one was my first Smash game, because this was the first Smash game that I technically owned, with Melee being the first that I technically played at, I believe, a friend's house. And by the way, that item is the red shell, to where it will aim toward... Ah, great. Uh-oh! I only have one life remaining. This could be bad. That was pretty bad right there. So, yeah, I don't even know how old I was, but, I remember, I think after friends had just, like, finished playing Smash Bros. Melee or something, I was looking at the character selection screen, and actually, I'll probably explain that later because it deals with one of the unlockable characters in this game, and I don't really want to spoil who they are quite yet. So, may as well talk about the fact that this was the first Smash Brothers game that I technically owned. I actually played each of these Smash Brothers games in their release order, funnily enough, or like, kind of owned them. So after I played Smash Brothers for Nintendo 64, I later got Melee. And then after that I got Brawl for the Wii, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And there we go. Dealt with all of them. And then I got Smash Brothers for Wii U when it came out, and then Smash Brothers Ultimate for Nintendo Switch. I also have Smash Brothers for 3DS, which I got after the Wii U one. So, technically, I didn't get all of them in release order because Smash Brothers for 3DS came out before Smash Brothers for Wii U. But, it's close enough. I don't know. I don't really care, honestly. I guess I could talk about my first exposure to Smash Brothers in general. I think I've talked about this in another playthrough. But my first exposure, from my memory, is super young, seeing the Super Smash Bros. Brawl box art. Seeing all these characters that I didn't even know about because I wasn't really much of a gamer at the time. The only character on the box art that I actually recognized was Pikachu, because I actually watched the Pokemon anime as a kid quite a bit. So I knew who Pikachu was. I don't even think I knew who Mario was, funnily enough. Anyways, wow, we had 1 life remaining. That's crazy. But yeah, that was the one-player game as Link. Cheap shot. Okay. And there we go. Yeah, it's the same outro every time. And the same credits every time. But thankfully, with the start button, we can just kind of breeze through them if we want. As I'm trying to spam the A button, try to delay some of the credits. Anyways, here is Link's congratulations screen. Not even any words. Just Link, I'm guessing, looking into the distance with, I believe that's Death Mountain in the background. So yeah, pretty cool. Anyways, we have another challenger approaching with, is that a little kid? Who is that? Finding them on Dreamland. It's none other than Ness from the game Earthbound for the Super Nintendo. In my opinion, honestly, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. Pretty weird pick for a character, honestly. Because Ness is not from a game developed by Nintendo. I believe it was developed by, I believe, Ape Inc. So, yeah, and also, at least in terms of, like, North America, for a pretty niche franchise. You can now use the child genius, Ness. There we go.